Per usual, always got to talk about those. Um, so I think one thing I really want to break down for the channel and for anybody that misses the show as well. Um, let's talk about Music Mondays and what's coming up over the course of the next couple of months. So, I think over the last couple of weeks, you guys heard me talk about our next album. For those of you that weren't around in 2022, Music Mondays actually curated and dropped our very first album, Curing Cases of the Mondays. So essentially, what that is a album of SoundCloud exclusives that are, of course, unreleased, and we gather from artists to put together in a sort of compilation album, just to really show some people some love, essentially, and really get a bunch of exclusives in one spot in a full body of work, right? So that's been something that we've been really working on for the last couple of weeks when it comes down to cover art designs, how we're going to work submissions this year. Um, because originally when we did our first album and we curated for that, I think we did like 10 tracks across like 6 or 7 artists. Um, but we didn't even have half the following that we have now. So I do anticipate the album to be a bit bigger than it was the last time. So we really want to make sure we iron out the fine details when it comes to something like that. So going into the end of April and May, you'll see some announcements go up with that once art and a couple of guideline details are finalized. So that'll be something that is really, really cool, and I'm excited to actually get off the ground. But again, I'm working with the staff to make sure we get them involved, and we kind of have it be like a team collective idea, right? So very important, very, very important. But our second album is in the works, and you guys will see a lot of announcements go live on our socials over the course of the next couple of weeks when it comes to the end of April, early May-ish area. So that's like the first major spring kind of content piece that we have in the back burner right now. Second thing, Music Mondays merch. You're going to see a relatively decent announcement go live for the rest of our merch, just to really remind everybody that we do have a couple pieces left still in stock. So again, you'll see a new trailer and a new content piece go live for the rest of our merch and things like that. So that'll be like the second major thing that we focus on when it comes to spring and what we're going to bring you guys. So those two things. Obviously, the second one not being that major because we did a lot of merch promo. But our second album is in the works, Carrying Cases of the Mondays Volume 2. And you'll see some more merch promo go up. Just remind everybody that we do have those still in stock. And the final thing for spring, so again, that'll be like over the course of like the last couple of weeks of April, heading into like early May-ish. So after May, our kind of roadmap is working on Cyberfest 2, which again, if you weren't around towards the end of 2022, maybe like the beginning of 2023, we had our very first online URL festival. When it came down to how that went, it went absolutely fantastic, to be completely honest with you. It was one of those things where the bumps in the road that we encountered weren't that big of a deal. So our first show went relatively well. That is also completely archived on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go watch some sets, kind of understand how that's ran, things like that, definitely go check out Cyberfest 2022. But Cyberfest 2, actually, our second event will be kind of in the June-ish, July-ish area. So again, expect some later details on that late spring, heading into summer, and really start hammering down on that. So those like 3 things are super, super important for us, and really what we're hyper focusing on when it comes down to like the bigger background events of Music Mondays. But we have a lot of smaller collabs, YouTube videos, content pieces, written pieces, things like that that are also obviously going to continue flowing out, right? When it comes down to the bigger things, I like to break those down in detail, but you can always expect our monthly and weekly content to stay the same, right? So when it comes to YouTube videos, new interviews, articles, written pieces, playlists, things like that, you'll see a lot of that stuff obviously continue. None of that's changing, but I just kind of wanted to break down a little bit more the larger events when it comes down to what Music Mondays has going on in the background. One thing I kind of want to touch on a little bit, mostly because it's been something that a few people have asked for, but we're also kind of slowly working on as well, is our Spotify playlist. So in addition to SoundCloud Sunday, we wanted to dive into things with Spotify as well, just to give people like a safe, like consistent home to actually like have refreshed underground music every single week. So that's been something that we've been talking with the team about and how that's really going to go down. because that's a little bit different than SoundCloud. So again, you'll see some details come out about that when we sort of iron some more things out. But a lot of that stuff is very, very, very important. So that's kind of like the big spring 2024 breakdown. First thing, Curing Cases of the Mondays, our second album. That's going to be something that we just super, super hyper focus on. And I really want to get out to you guys like ASAP Rocky. Music Money's merch. Again, you'll see us break down that in some greater detail as well over the course of the next couple weeks. And then, of course, we have Cyberfest 2 as well. So once all those details kind of come to fruition, you'll see a lot of that stuff go live on socials. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go like the video, drop a comment, let us know what you think we should do next, what events you're excited for, and all that good jazz. And of course, make sure you follow us on socials at All Music Mondays to stay up to date with what we have going on here at Music Mondays. Let's fucking get it, baby.